Anyhow, this is an equally exciting segment because we have Favor Ikeoluwa Oyewole. I call her Ike. She is a medical doctor who is passionate about physical health and also mental wellness. She has worked with various NGOs for healthcare service delivery with emphasis on preventative health rather than curative. And she will be talking to us today about World Mental Health Day, which is today. Ike, Favor, you're welcome. Hope you don't mind if I call you Ike, because Ikeoluwa is like Ike.
I'll
confuse
take it.
them.
I'll take it.
Thank you, Ike. In any case, World Health Day is today. What does it mean for everybody? World Mental Health Day.
World Mental Health Day is a day to basically make the world and everyone aware of mental health, its different disorders, and just to support healthcare and to make mental health something that people are aware of and they take care of. It's a thing going on and it's rampant, but it's not getting enough attention. So
very interesting.
Yeah, World Mental Health is a day to sensitize people.
Nice. Now, you said something that I took note of. You said it's different disorders. So mental health is not just one thing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
So how do we get aware? How are we made aware of the different instances that constitute mental unhealthiness? How do we want to know?
Okay, so I think the first thing is to know what mental health is, right? So mental health is according to WHO, a state of well-being where one is aware of their abilities and they are able to be productive with those abilities and even work. Also contribute to the society. So when you think about what health is mentally, you'd have to look into yourself. Are you aware of what you can do? And are you able to do those things? Are you also able to function as everyone in the society would expect that person to function for that age? So that's mental health, yeah. So when we now come to being mentally unhealthy, you think about all the components like the emotional components, the psychosocial components. So any dysfunction in any of those parts makes up mental disorders.
When you say psychosocial, do you mean our environments, people we mix with, and how it affects our mental well-being?
Yes.
Psychosocial, that's very interesting. So what responsibility do we have as individuals to another individual, as employees or as co-employees or management to employees to employers?
Okay.
What responsibility do we owe ourselves?
Okay, so man is a social being. So the social aspect of man is a key component of man. So when we notice that someone is not as interactive as before, maybe somebody that usually come in, lights up the room and everything, and suddenly this person is withdrawn, then you know that it is a deviation from the normal function of that person.
What do we do then? What is our responsibility then?
Our responsibility is to firstly find out what is going on. So there are different mental disorders, right? So coming from those that have developmental disorders, those we call intellectually disabled, to those that have some psychotic disorders that they are not really aware of what is going on, to those that have the mood disorders where, someone is withdrawn, right? So there are some other disorders that the person is not withdrawn. The person is so over familiar with you, the bipolar disorder that we know. The person is hyper, way hyper than the way they would normally be. So it's any deviation from the normal, it could be high, it could be low. It could be but if it is a persistent thing, for example, I could wake up and I'm not in the mood. Doesn't mean that I'm having a mental disorder. But if it's a persistent thing, there's no change, then you want to pay attention to that person. You want to ask them questions. What's up? What's going on with you? As a co-worker, as a boss, or even an employee.
Be there for that person.
Yeah, be there for them.
Okay, so what if I realize or I'm aware that I'm going through certain stressors? Where do I go? Who do I talk to? What do I do?
Okay, so like you said, certain stressors, right? The first thing is for you to, basically there are some people that are trained to help you. But you could start with identifying those stressors. Like you said, okay, you know you're going through, you're aware that you have some stressors. Can you dissociate yourself from those stressors? It means that, okay, you know that this is affecting you. Can I dissociate myself from whatever it is?
What if the stressor is what makes me money? What if it's work? What if it's TVC? I'm joking. What do I do? I can't dissociate myself from it. Otherwise, I won't work. I won't get money.
You have to be mentally healthy to work in TVC. If today you're not okay, you won't be here.
Abi?
Okay, sorry, I won't say that. But then, nobody's going to employ someone who is not mentally fit, right? So I think we should prioritize our health.
Priority.
Yeah. Very, very key. So when you prioritize your health, you identify the stressors. You can, there are some people, there are people that are trained, like the psychiatrists, the psychologists, and some social workers that can help you. You can sit down with them, talk with them. But that is also another issue that we have in Nigeria,
People
right?
don't want to sit down and admit that they have ailments, mental ailments, and sit down with a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
They find it like,
Psychologist.
it means I'm mad, Abi. It's not until you know, it's that extent before you have to sit down and talk with a professional, is it?
Yes, it's
Please
not.
educate us on that.
So there's a spectrum of mental disorders, from personality disorders. Personality disorders, the person is even like functioning normally. At least the person can fit in a relatively what people think at least is still normal, but the person is not actually functioning normally. So there's personality disorders. There is mood disorders. There's the depression, the bipolar. There's anxiety disorder. Those that are like hyper, they have this fear, exaggerated fear to something like that can affect their normal functions. Like you can't leave the room because you're so afraid of something. Those that have anxiety disorders. And there are other things also like the psychotic disorders. That's the one everybody knows.
That's the one everybody
knows. But there are a whole lot. Even the one everybody knows isn't great. There are some people that it is some moment. There are some people that, it is.
What do people need to know when it comes to getting help?
Okay. I think what we should know.
Demystify, can you demonize it?
Yeah. Okay.
Real quick.
So one thing we should know is that even if the person, anyone you find that is not functioning normally, or there's a persistent dysfunction trait, that I think that they should get help for that person. Don't think, it's a demon that's possessing the person, right? So just like you can have malaria in your body, you can have something going on with your brain. The brain is also part of the body, right? So because the person is okay, otherwise okay, does not mean that they don't have something they are dealing with. So I think people should empathize and give some room for people when they need to, when they need a timeout or they need to see a doctor.
I get you.
Support them. You just be around.
You have an oncologist for your heart. You have physiotherapists for your limbs. You have a psychiatrist for your mental state. Am I correct? So it's simple. See a doctor for whatever is wrong with you. Don't think that you're going crazy or anything because you're seeing a psychiatrist. So that's one for you out there, everybody out there, including myself, I think. Maybe I'll see one today. I'm seeing one right now. I'm not even paying for consultancy.
You need to pay.
Favor, Dr. Favor. Ike, good to have this conversation with you. Fantastic. I've enjoyed it. I'm sure that you've taken away one or two things from this conversation here today on this segment. We would love to have you back again sometime soon. Would you come?
I would come. I would also like to encourage people to talk to. There's some online organizations, online apps.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to the hospital.
See a person, physical person.
Yeah. So you could just explore
take advantage of that.
Yeah, take advantage of that. There's some foundation that supports the mentally disabled or really just mental disorders in people or mentally unhealthy people. So please can just engage with those people.
All right, well, that's very interesting. Thank you very much once again, Dr. Favor. Good to have you here. Looking forward to seeing you back again.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying tuned. Don't go anywhere. What's the time now? Oh, it's the top of the hour. Let's do this all over again, shall we? We'll be back.